Oh. All right, we are live. Good morning, everybody. So, I've got some feedback from a really good friend and my sister, and I realised that I've had the window open the whole time, and so that's caused a lot of noise from the background. So I apologise for that because I can't hear it anymore. I guess I'm used to living where I live and having just a constant traffic background noise. So I apologise, and I've closed the window. So hopefully that will set up a bit of a better sound experience for you. I noticed immediately that it's a little bit echoey, so I can hear my voice kind of reverberating in the room. So I am looking to get some tools that will help with just making our podcast a little more aesthetically pleasing, if you like. All right, so my title today, Perfectionism, a Trap. I've had the most amazing experience over the last maybe week or so in respects to just, I think because I'm focusing on my journey with weight loss, with relationship with food, with relationship with my body, and all the thinking that has gone into progressing to me to get to this point, I guess. So I do these unstructured, so I kind of have a bit of a framework, and I'd like to see where it goes, and hopefully it resonates with you, which is why I like the comments. I'd like to know what resonates and what falls flat. But anyway, it's my journey, and I don't expect, I'm not putting anything on anybody else. I want to share with you. I like to be open and honest, as you saw from the video that I did at the weekend, that it just, I'll talk about that in another live, but I really want to tackle today's topic. I want to be really real and understand that we're all the same. We all struggle with the same thing. We all have the same shame over food. And even though I've got perfectionism as my title, I keep getting drawn towards this other area. So I'm going to talk about that first, and hopefully they all tie in together. Who knows? We're going on a journey. We're going to see where it takes us, and we may end up way off track somewhere in another universe that we never realised existed. How fun would that be? Welcome to my world, because that's how I live. All right. So, perfectionism and how it started. And now I forgot what I was going to say. Excellent. So I'll get back on topic. Easy. So I am a perfectionist myself. Like I live a lot in my head. And interesting, I flat with a young man, and I told him the other day, he said, I was thinking about such and such and not leaving this out because I know that you would get annoyed by that. And I said, Josh, sorry, I shouldn't have doxed him. I said to my flatmate, you can never possibly imagine that I notice everything. So I don't know if he probably didn't get what I mean, but in the respects that if he's put something on the wrong shelf in the fridge, and when I say wrong shelf, my shelf, or on the side of the shelf that we share, that I put my things, like everything. I notice everything. Teaspoons out of the dishwasher if they're not up the right way, because I have them all facing downwards because I like the way it looks. So yeah, I am a perfectionist. I have my own way of doing things, and living with a young man is really good for me. And he is so good. He is such a good flatmate. Shout out to you. In case you watch. Anyway, so I have that going on in my head. The sheet, the blanket on the bed, I pull it down the bottom just to make sure that it's perfect when I walk into my room and see it. And I don't like fuss well, I do like fuss, but I like fuss that I like to look at. So everything in my fuss has its own place and its own purpose. Point noted. That way, the plant. Do you like that? I know the blank wall kind of really, really did my head in after a while. So we're moving towards it. This painting, that painting it was up, but a big gust of wind took it off the wall. So anyway. So yes, I'm a perfectionist. And what I've noticed about being a perfectionist and when it comes to weight loss is that it gives me two things: the ability to create excuses and the ability to procrastinate, which are kind of the same thing, I think. But anyway, so what I mean by that, so excuses like, oh, well, when I have got my sleep sorted out, then I'll be able to focus on losing weight. At the moment, I'm too tired. Or, oh, yeah, but I've got such and such happening, so I might as well just not worry about my diet at the moment. I'm off my diet because of such and such. Like when I broke my arm, I couldn't go to the gym. So, I mean, come on, Carol, let's get real. It's not that you can't go to the gym. It's that you're using your broken arm as an excuse. You've got another arm that wasn't broken. You've got two damn good legs that aren't broken. You can still get to the gym and push weights. You can still use the machines instead of having to lift up the 20-kilo weights and put them on. So it's letting myself off the hook. So I don't want to do it a little bit inside me. I don't want to do it. So because I'm a perfectionist and I want to do it the way I want to do it, I can make all these excuses and, yeah, not do what I know to be what I really need to do. So, and then procrastinate, just letting it go and doing it another time. So, yeah, they do sound like kind of the same things. I've conflated two things into one. Anyway, so how do we stop that? How do we address the perfectionism to give ourselves the motivation? And I seriously, please put any comments you like. I want to learn. I want to learn what works for you. How do you combat either the perfectionism or your excuses or your procrastination? How do you deal with that? Something that I have recognised for me is the only thing that works. Well, it probably jumps into everything, but it's where it stems from is discipline. You know, getting that to that point where I don't want to let myself off the hook. So, and you know, like it usually starts when you're tired at night. For me, when you're tired at night, you're about to go to bed and you make that decision, oh, I'm too tired, I'm not going to go to the gym in the morning. So you sort of already set yourself up for that. And then I've noticed, you know, that it'll be 2 or 3 days and then it's like, Carol, you just have to go to the gym. No excuses, just stop it. Stop it now. Get your gear out, put it on, get your drink bottle, grab your towel and your card and get to the flipping gym. You got headphones, you know, like what are you going to do in the hour that you would be at the gym or 45 minutes, whatever it is? What are you going to do that's going to make as much of a difference in your world today? Nothing. There's nothing. You can't eat better food. That's not going to do the work that exercise does. So, you know, look at it realistically and go get to the gym. Go and do that thing. So my thoughts come back what I was wanting to share. Since I've lost weight, I have been trying to create a wardrobe that I love wearing, clothes that resemble me, that feel like I'm me when I wear them, which is really, I mean, that's what everyone tries to do because you're drawn towards the kind of clothes that you like. I don't know at the moment. I really don't know. It's a hodgepodge of good grief. It really is like, yeah, just a whole lot of pieces that I've kind of like, oh, I like that. And the reason that I do that is because I'm always looking for that thing that's going to make it perfect. My perfectionism again. So that thing that's going to make me feel like, that's the Carol that I want to be. And so I've been buying more and more and more and more and going, like getting paid, going and spending, then or going and looking around shops and seeing something and, oh yes, that'll fit nice, but not really having a structure. And so I had this huge scare at the weekend. It's like, oh my goodness, what if I just can't stop buying clothes? Because as you know, I'm an addict. So got addicted to alcohol, got addicted to food, and now I'm kind of addicted to spending, I can tell. So I've got to work through that. I've got to work through, let's stop the hemorrhaging of money right now, trying to find a clothes or an outfit or a set of outfits that work. So I made myself accountable. I called a sister and told her what I was going to do on Monday, so I had the day off on Monday. I told her that I was going to go through my wardrobe, I was going to create outfits, I was going to really honestly decide what looks good and what doesn't look good. So what clothes have I got in my wardrobe that I won't end up wearing because they don't look good, they don't make me feel good, they're not Carol clothes. And I'm quite lucky because with all my personalities, that encompasses quite a lot. But you know that feeling when you stand in front of your wardrobe and I've got nothing to wear. And I don't know where that comes from. I wonder whether it's from I feel like this in this moment, and so I want to wear something that reflects how I feel in this moment, and it's not that, and it's not that, and it's not that, and actually I can't find anything. So now I'm stuck to, okay, well, I better go to the shops and buy something to fill that need, hence where I've got to. So I did this as an exercise. I also downloaded an app, and I can't remember what the app's called, so maybe I'll put it in the show notes. Look at me being a YouTuber, putting it in the show notes, about where I got this app. And so it's quite good. My bedroom's got a white door, just like the door in here, because houses usually have matching doors. Yeah. So I've got a hook. I've put a hook on my door for my dressing gowns. I've got dressing gowns. I've got a flatmate. I hate dressing gowns. But anyway, it's pink, so I love it. And I've got the hook so I can grab a hanger and just hang my clothes, whatever it is, on the hook and then take photos of it. So now I'm putting them all into an app and then I can create outfits. So, yeah, and there's AI. AI can outfit me if I so desire. So yeah, so that's quite, I feel like that's a win. And it got to the point, like sister says to me, oh my goodness, Carol, aren't you exhausted from putting things on, matching things up and taking the photos and sending them to her and telling her what she thinks? And, like it was a massive exercise, and I did sleep well that night, so that's a good thing. Oh, whoops, sorry, I'm bashing the computer again. Yes, so having that accountability, and look, I'm not going to tell you how to suck eggs. I don't want to do that. What I'm trying to get across is, as this journey goes on, there's so many tentacles to it. There's so many parts, because it's all about me and who I am and my struggles, and it goes into every area of my life, not just my weight, not just my food choices, not just my exercise choices, but how I feel about myself and how I convey that to the world. So talking about clothes and things is, like, for me personally, a natural part of this whole thing. So, yeah, I feel like that's a journey. That's a journey I'm enjoying. I do love that I'm a seamstress, so I have decided I've got enough clothes. That's exciting, isn't it? I have got enough clothes. I do have a couple of suits, one navy trouser, double-breasted jacket. Sounds really, really good, but it's Shein. Not that that's a problem, but it's too big, and so it's a bit gapey and things. I want to swap that out because it's too big. Same with the other navy blue skirt and jacket suit. But I'm going to make replacements. Then I can tailor them. So I'm petite in the heights, so I want to actually make the jacket length, shorten it through here, so I don't have the fitting in the wrong places. It's always bunching up, and now the shoulders rise up, especially if it's got a fitted shoulder with a shoulder pad. Anyway, blah blah, sewing talk. So I want to make replacements for those, which is good. It gives me a couple of things. It gives me a creative outlet. It gives me a project, something to do in my downtime and potter away at, because by this rate it'll be next winter before I wear it. Because mending and life and puppy. I've got a puppy, not mine, daughter's, even better, grandpuppy. I don't have to do the toilet things and all that stuff. I can just get the cuddles and have the plays. It's really cool. Yes, so I've got projects, and I can sew, and I can curate my wardrobe. Which is kind of fun. I'm really excited for it. So, in upcoming podcasts, maybe, we can go further into that. More feedback you give me, the better content you'll get, because I can tailor it to what the general people want. Instead of just me waffling on my own random journey. I'm fine with that too, by the way. It's one thing I love to talk about. It's just what's going on, because there's so much going on. Okay, so as we come to a close, I hope there's been something meaningful in this conversation for you. I wanted to, as I think about the podcast, so as I think about what I would like to get out of this, or what I would like you to get out of it, what us to do as part of it, as I thought, so I'm covering a lot of topics, I'm doing a lot of talking, and how about if I try to, at the end of each little session that we have together, put a suggestion for maybe something, a little practice we can work on. And what I'd like them to do is be cumulative. So just a little snippet of something, and you'll get what I mean as I explain it further. So if I do one each time, that will be 2 a week. I'm trying to do two sessions a week. So 2 little thoughts. So within a month, that's 8 different things, 8 little practices that we can take. And when I'm talking about practices, I do mean practice. Like, when you start a sport, or you start golf. Let's talk about golf as an example. So first out, you're useless. You don't know how to hold the club. You don't know how to do anything. And then eventually you just add one little thing in. And I can only handle one thing, and that's not just with golf, but with every kind of long-term change you want to make. Just doing one little thing that helps you get towards your goal and practice it. So what I'm going to suggest, and I'm going to do this because remember my story about the apple, I've been really good. I haven't had my apple at night, but a better thing than just the apple is to close the kitchen 3 hours before you go to sleep. So if you aim to go to sleep at 10 o'clock, stop eating and drinking anything except water or herbal tea, which means I'm going to have to practice something here, because I love me a cup of tea. And I have a cup of tea like when I take any medication that I might need to take at night, or what leftover vitamins that I didn't get to through the day. So it's a cup of tea and a catch up, like with those things. So I'm going to swap it out for a herbal tea. I do have a nice Twinings sleep tea, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to set an alarm on my phone for 3 hours before I go to sleep. So I try to go to bed early. because I like to get up early. So that means that I will probably have to close the kitchen at about 6 o'clock. So that means I have to have all my eating done. And a tip. I'd love to give it a name, like something that's relevant. Got to think of these things. I'm going to give it like a Carol's Corner, Carol's Cozy Corner tip or something. I don't know. We'll get there. And it's to go and brush your teeth. So when you've decided it's your time to stop eating, close the kitchen, lights off in the kitchen, make sure it's all clean, walk away from it, it's how you want to find it the next day, and then go and brush your teeth. And that's your sort of sign to yourself that that's all the input in here for today. No more. We're done. Kitchen closed, mouth closed. And yeah, that's a tip for you. Take it or leave it. So perfection would be 7 days a week. Really good would be 5. I'm trying would be 3. And, whatever works. Whatever works. There's no judgment. If you do it one day and you're proud of yourself, that is a win. That is an absolute win. If you do it 2 days the next week, like what I would like to do is build a foundation of something we can do. Hey, even if 3 hours is too long, let's go for 1 hour or 2 hours or an hour and a half and extend the time, So, because what the point of the 3 hours is to have everything digested so that when you go to sleep, you're not still digesting food. From what I've read and what I've learned, your body can either be using calories or be digesting calories. So if you're still digesting when you go to sleep, your body's not using the food supplies that you've got to do all the restoration and the cell clean out or get rid of all your free radicals and all those things. It's digesting food, which is why you can wake up tired. And those nights where you kind of binge eat before you go to sleep, yes, we all do it. Those nights, you have a terrible sleep because you're not really sleeping, you're still digesting. So that's why the 3 hours is good. But if you can manage 2 hours, great. Only an hour. Excellent. It's still an hour longer than you used to, maybe. I don't know. But I'm just here to encourage and make it as easy to make little changes that maybe hopefully can grow into be bigger changes. So, yeah, that's one to start with. I'm going to do that. I will check back in half a week at the weekend and let you know how I'm getting on with that. And I encourage you, we're all just doing our best. That's all we can ever do. And some days you'll ace it. Some days it's a tough day. But every day you wake up and you get a fresh start. So, yeah, enjoy that. Have a great week, well, half a week, and I'll see you at the weekend. Maybe we'll unpack a little bit of that little story that I actually, no shame. I'm glad I did that. It shows you who I really am underneath. Well, it was a moment. It's not, I'm not a climb, I'm not in that state, but I wanted to share with you. So it was real and raw and it came from my truth, my heart, my actual upbringing. So, yeah. Anyway, good to be here. Good to see you. Take care of yourself and I'll talk to you again really soon.